So if I wanted to hit the ball high up into those clouds, I would just kind of keep my chest back. Well, if I want to hit it low, I want to keep my chest on top. So a great way to think about what that would feel like, or how I would do that, is imagine if I was going to open a trash can. So I've got a trash can with a lid here, and I'm just going to spin it open. Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how to hit a golf ball lower. I'm going to go over a few setup adjustments you can make, as well as a feel that'll have you launching it lower than ever. But before we get to that, I've really enjoyed bringing this free content to you, and you can help me grow my YouTube channel by liking this video when it's over, subscribing to my YouTube channel, which just alerts you when I have new videos available for you to watch, Thank Me, which is a great new feature which allows you to contribute to the ongoing success of my YouTube channel, and as always, please comment. It helps in more ways than you know. Okay, so the first thing we need to talk about is what are some situations that I find myself in that I would need to hit it lower than my standard stock shot. And two situations pop into my mind right off the bat. And one of them is I'm under some trees. So especially up north, you get these tree-lined fairways. So I'm under some trees, I've got to keep the ball low, get it back out into the fairway. Maybe I have a chance to get it onto the green, but that would be one situation where I need to launch it lower, keep it low, hit a lower shot in golf. The other reason that we would do this is, especially here in Florida in the winter, is wind. I'm hitting into the wind. So if I hit my stock shot, it balloons, it comes up short of the green. If I keep it lower, I can possibly get it to the green, onto the green, hopefully close to the hole. All right, so I want to go over some setup things that we can do that'll help us to hit it lower. And the first one's really, really simple, is take less loft. So if I think I can get a 9-iron under these tree limbs and out into the fairway or onto the green, whatever the situation is, go ahead and default to less loft, which would be an 8-iron. Now the next thing I want to do to keep this ball low is I'm going to move it back in my stance. And notice as I move it back in my stance, if I had it in the middle, I just have a little bit of forward shaft lean. So my hands are just slightly in front of the golf ball. When I move it back towards my left foot or my trail foot, for me as a lefty, my trail foot's my left foot, it'll be your right foot if you're a righty. As I do that, I create more, I get my hands stay in the middle of my body, but it creates more forward shaft lean, which actually reduces the loft. And again, that's going to help me to keep it lower. So setup wise, it's really those three things that I want you concentrating on. Take less loft than you think you need. Move the ball back in my stance. So I want to get it more towards my left foot, and as I do this, it's going to create a little more forward shaft lean, and if I can maintain that, definitely going to launch the ball out lower. Now one thing I want to say is, you might say, hey Mark, this shot calls for a 9-iron, you're telling me to take less loft. Well, now I got this 8-iron that's going to go too far. Well, one thing we can do is we can start backing down our effort. So taking a 3/4 swing with an 8-iron is probably going to help us to keep it lower. So one thing I encourage my students to do is, if you want to hit it low, taking that less loft and swinging easier is a great way to keep it from spinning too much and upshooting on you. So let's give these few setup things a try and see if it helps me to launch it a little lower. So I've got shot calls for a 9-iron. I'm going to keep it under these tree limbs out here. The shot calls for a 9-iron. I have my 8-iron. I'm going to move the ball back in my stance, which gets my handle forward. And then I'm just going to take that nice 3/4 swing. And probably tough for you to see on the video there, but that didn't even peek out over that tree out there. It was driven much lower than what a stock 8-iron would launch for me. So that's great. Those are some setup adjustments. They obviously help, but maybe you make those setup adjustments and I just can't quite keep it low. It looks too much like my stock 8-iron shot. So I'm going to talk about a feel that would be a great feel, and the goal of this feel is to keep our chest more on top of the ball, or keep the club underneath our chest as we're hitting the golf ball. So if I wanted to hit it high, one thing that helps is kind of tilting back. We do this with the driver when we want to hit up on the driver. So if I wanted to hit the ball high up into those clouds, I would just kind of keep my chest back. Well, if I want to hit it low, I want to keep my chest on top. So a great way to think about what that would feel like, or how I would do that, is imagine if I was going to open a trash can. So I've got a trash can with a lid here, and I'm just going to spin it open. So you see, as I spin it open and my chest stays pointed to the ground, that's more of what we call a covering move. And if I stay on top, if I cover the golf ball, it's definitely going to come out lower. So let's see if we can pair these two things together and launch one even lower than that last one. So I'm going to go through my checklist again. I'm playing golf, I'm into the wind, I need a low shot here. Distance wise, it calls for a 9-iron, but I'm going to default to less loft. It's just going to help me keep it lower. So I'm going to take an 8-iron, make more of a 3/4 swing, keep that ball from spinning. I'm going to put the ball back in my stance. Okay, I usually 8-iron, I like to see it kind of middle. I'm going to push it back towards my left foot, my trail foot, my left heel. That's going to get the handle forward. Now I'm just going to give that sense or that feel of like I'm screwing open a trash can, and see if I can get that into a golf swing. See if we can keep this ball lower than the last one, but nice and low for sure. So just a little recap I want to give to hit the golf ball lower. Default to less loft. Move the ball back in my stance. That gives me a little more forward shaft lean when those hands stay in the middle. And then the last thing is just get that feel as though I'm spinning open that trash can. That gives me a nice covering move, helps me to stay on top of the golf ball, launches the golf ball out as low as possible. So now you know the things that you need to do to hit the golf ball low. I gave you a few setup adjustments as well as a feel that'll help you to hit it lower than ever. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I have 2 more playing here right now that I promise will continue to help you improve your game. Remember, please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, thank me, and comment.